You right there? Bernard? Oh, all of a sudden he's got no energy left. We are in the historical Candi's Flower Shop, Ryan, aren't we? Because this is an award-winning business. I'll get you to talk her up because she won't.
Yes. This 2024, Candi was business owner of the year. Mm-hmm. And that is not her first time winning that award. She has built this shop for the last 41 years with her blood, sweat, and tears and smiles.
Yeah.
And her beautiful, beautiful personality that I don't know anybody who could resist it.
And she's got a team of crazies.
I was going to say, I don't do this alone, for sure.
There's an amazing team of ladies
I
and
have
men.
the best employees. I always have throughout the years. They've come and they've gone. Not a whole lot, but I've had the most impressive gals work for me the whole time I've been in business.
I say to you a lot, this is so much more than a flower shop. In my mind in Australia, a flower shop is a shop with flowers. Excuse me, this is so much more. I would say you're a professional hoarder. Brian, that's not unfair, is it?
That's true. That is very
Her business gives her a reason to justify your vice of collecting beautiful things.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Thank God she collects beautiful and unique ornaments, Brian, because you're one of them.
I don't know about that.
Absolutely.
I'm happy she collected me.
When you tell people where you're from, I like the way you say it. You say Knoxville, Iowa. Like there's a real emphasis on the word Knoxville. What is Knoxville?
Knoxville is a county seat for Marion County in Iowa. People settled here, and well, I'm not even sure of the year, but the building we're in was built in 1900. And Knoxville is a very proud community. There was a VA hospital here for 100 years, or 120 years, and it was a psychiatric hospital.
Okay.
And it employed at one time 2,500 people and had 2,500 residents there too, or patients. That closed, boy, I bet it's been 30 years ago now, anyway, and it's gone. So that is really part of what built the town, but Knoxville Raceway is certainly a very big part of town too. Manufacturing in Marion County is very big. We have Weiler here, which employs, I think, over 600 people. Now it has surpassed 3M by quite a ways. But in the county, we have Vermeer, we have Pella Windows, we have many just worldwide known manufacturing businesses. And that's what, and we also pay a higher wage than the average.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's at one point we were number 5 in the whole state out of 99 counties in manufacturing. We may be higher than that now, I just don't know. But Knoxville has a tradition of very proud people that hold you accountable for what you do. You know, Candi has survived here for 41 years, which is, there's no other business on the square that has been owned by the same owner for that many years.
Yeah.
And that is such a credit to her tenacity and her knowing the community so well.
Yeah.
And she knows it because she's related to most of them.
I was going to say, and my stubbornness, that comes from the Cowman side.
And her stubbornness. But people love the races or they hate the races.
Yep.
We love the races. We love the racetrack. We support them every way we can. And, it brings so much economic impact into the state, not just into the state. Knoxville is a sister city to Warrnambool, Australia, which I'm not sure how many people actually know that.
Yep.
But it's
should.
Yeah.
But it's one of our missions is to spread that information far and wide and keep that relationship going and keep sending people to Australia to see the Classic and other races there, and bringing people here for the Nationals, for the 10 days of the Knoxville Nationals.
And there's another lady pioneer in business that I got to meet last year. So Mama Jo Goff. Like, what an amazing, amazing woman,
Yes.
Candi. She was a real pioneer for business, wasn't she, in this region?
Yes, she gave me a lot of, she was kind of a mentor. I would watch her and, you know, she wasn't scared of anything. And
Still isn't.
no, not at all, not at all. But I love to watch her in business, and whatever she believed in, she was 100% in. And I just loved watching her as a mentor, just moving right along in business. So yeah.
The raceway is a huge part of the global footprint of Knoxville, particularly to Australia and also to, you know, Americans. And I know an alarming group of people show up in Tennessee in Knoxville and they're devastated when they realize they're thousands of miles away. That happens quite a bit. But I tell people there's a lot more to Knoxville than North Lincoln, which is where the raceway is. Because if you came in from the highway, either end, you could be forgiven for thinking there's High V, there's the Hall of Fame, there's Dingus, there's the raceway, and there's the campgrounds, and that's Knoxville.
Yeah.
But this square is here. There's a very big community, and when I say big, it's like 7,500 people.
Yeah, it's been steady at that for 20 years.
Yeah.
But we see new housing starting.
Yeah.
Where the VA used to be, we see new housing out behind Walmart.
Yep.
So with the growing manufacturing from Weiler and from others, there is a need for new housing, and new people are moving into town. You know, we need,
A lot of new
in
faces.
the Atlantic and Pacific Pub, we need employees there all the time.
Yep.
They always seem to be shorthanded.
But I think what people miss too is downtown Knoxville. If you haven't been downtown, we
Yeah.
have the most beautiful courthouse I
Yeah.
think, in the whole universe, because we can sit and look at it every day, but it is absolutely stunning, and I've seen a lot of them. So I think Knoxville or Marion County knocked it out of the park when they built that.
Yeah, there's been a, thanks to the Knoxville City Council and the leaders of Knoxville and the economic development part of Knoxville, there's been a resurge or push to redevelop downtown and get these empty buildings filled up and get the
Yeah.
buildings that are in disrepair
Yep.
repaired and updated. And if you don't have a strong downtown, you don't have a strong town. You know, we can't live on Highway 14 alone. You know, there's much more to Knoxville than that. You know, we've got a great school system, a great hospital system. You know, there's more investment going on now than we've seen in a long time.
Right.
You know, the thing that there's a lot of in this town is four-way stops,
Yes.
particularly in the square. And I think about it actually encourages courtesy, right? Because you have to look up at your fellow approachers when they get to the four-way. And then generally, and most people allow me to go if I don't allow them to go.
Yeah.
It's not a heads-up drag race. It's like, no, after you. And I think that small-town America still has that, Candi, that beautiful... You've got shirts in here and things that say Iowa nice. Can you explain what is Iowa nice to people?
Well, when we travel, we go out of the country and stuff, and you know, maybe people don't say excuse me or I'm sorry or oh I'm sorry I stepped in front of you or you go first or whatever. So you know when you're back home, because the Midwest is seriously, people are so friendly and so hospitable. Kindness, that's what I see in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And yeah, Iowa nice-ish is a kind of a slang that we kind of like.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Brian, you've travelled a lot in different realms, you know, the NHRA and then, you know, world mountain biking and, you know, a number of things, and even worked in road construction and things like that down in Texas and places like that. But you returned here. Why is that?
Well, because I wanted my kids to grow up with Iowa values, and more importantly, Marion County values and Knoxville values. And those values are kindness, empathy, love for your neighbor, love
Yep.
for others. And no matter how wide you think those differences are, they're really not. We're all made of the same molecules. We're all made of the same atoms. We all breathe the same air. And why So why the
Yeah.
difference? Why the division? And I felt they could find that here better than they could anywhere else in the world, really. And so that's what brought me back here. And fortunately, you know, I found a job here in Knoxville, which led me back to Candi Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all good.
You're a huge part of the Knoxville Raceway for a number of years, and that's how we got to meet. So I'm forever grateful for the fact that you guys came down to Parramatta and down to Warrnambool, and with you and Angel and Brandon, and that's where we kind of, even though we didn't meet then, did we? Like when you were down in Australia, we didn't actually meet, I don't think.
Yeah, we did.
Did we just briefly?
Yeah, briefly we did. Yeah.
I don't think we had a chance to really talk much though. It was like,
no, but we were.
I saw Angel on the infield at Parramatta at Premier, and I was like, who's
Yeah.
this? You know, this American female photographer down there.
And then Angel came to me and said, "Oh, I met this guy." And then I remember we were up on Millsy's balcony
Yep.
there, and I think you were up there then, and he was addressing the crowd, and we were up there. I think that's where I finally got to meet you.
Right. Certainly wasn't in a relaxed environment like this, was my point. We never really got to sit, oh, hi, nice to see you, and that sort of stuff. This city embraces Australians in a phenomenal way. Not just because of the tourism impact, but I think that there's an affinity between Australians and Americans that I think we both love similar things.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I would agree, yeah. Yeah, we love adventure. We love great racing. We love, you know, seeing people, talking to people, and hearing about their experiences and what they like, what they don't like, and again, that takes us all back to how we're so closely related, how we're all so
Yeah.
closely,
Connected.
all part of the same human race.
Yeah, absolutely. The Aussies coming to your shop much, Candi? Do you get
Yes.
people wander in and...
Yes.
I would bet they're quite surprised when they walk in here. There has to be people go, wow.
Yeah, they like it. But they know that you live here, so. They're like, where's Wade?
That's not what I kind of meant. I didn't mean to curse you like that. But when you walk in, how long is it taking you to build the business to this point, Candi, where you've got so much stuff in here?
41 years. Yeah, because every year I kept adding and adding and adding, and
Yeah.
we didn't have a whole lot of retail business downtown, so I tried to pick up new things, a little bit of clothing, hats, mittens, gloves, just candles, cards, just things that I didn't normally carry before, but I just grew it, and now we do have retail that does do things like that. So I've backed down on like the clothing and the hats and mittens and stuff, and of course now I just mainly plants, home decor, candles, of course, all kinds of smelly good stuff.
And you're already working on your fall stuff. There's already pumpkins as far as the eye can see, Brian.
Yeah.
You know, you did the Knoxville Nationals theme stuff. You have homecoming. Like, you keep that shop window very much moving, don't you?
Yes, we try.
There's an amazing pub through the door right there, which sometimes has got to be too close for you, Candi. Are you right there, Bernie? You just chilling? When did you get the idea for the Atlantic and Pacific pub, Brian?
It was about 8 years ago. You know, we bought this building 10 years ago and worked on it a little bit, always with the intent of moving Candi's flowers down here and with the intent of living upstairs.
Yep.
But for some reason, that the area where the Atlantic and Pacific pub was the first area that got renovated the
Yep.
most. It got cleaned out. I mean, we demoed everything. It got cleared out the most, and we talked to a few other people about opening a business in there, and it's just never worked out. And then we thought, because I wouldn't say because we're smart, because we're not smart. We said, well, we can do it. Surely people love what we do, which is having a couple nice cocktails and great conversation. And surely there's other people like us that would like to do that. And so we opened the Atlantic and Pacific Pub with just that idea, that we're going to have the best cocktails, we're going to have the best service. If we do food, we're going to have the best food we can.
Pizza's fantastic,
We
just
can
saying.
create. And you know, give people an experience they can't get maybe even in Des Moines, you know,
Yeah.
unless they go to New York City or San Francisco or a big town. We want them to experience that same type of atmosphere and service here.
Because this is Manhattan and Marion County. I often say that. Like and Candi, you're known for your style. Like your style, you know, in this store and in the home upstairs is quite phenomenal. But Brian, I got to feel like you created your very own slice of Manhattan in the pub.
Candi had a lot of influence there too. But the lights, they're mine.
Well, good work.
I try to take all the credit, but yeah.
It is a beautiful pub.
Yeah, it is. He bought the lights, and when they brought them in, I'm just like, no way, we are not hanging those in there. They are just not good. And everyone that comes into the bar now, they're like, oh, these lights, they're just beautiful. Where did you?
I love the lights.
I go,
Yeah.
well, I chose them. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So she in 5 years from now, I had a hard time finding those.
I love it. The best of both worlds are here, but the most beautiful family and souls and hearts are here as well. So this is why this will always be wherever my boys are, wherever the people I love are, and here will always be my two favorite places on earth. So you look beautiful today. Wedding next weekend.
Yes.
So you're all dolled up. She looks like Dorothy. She's to click her heels. Bernie, you ready for dinner?
Bernie,
Burn.
look.
You ready? Ready for supper?
He's like, huh?
Grandparents. How many times are grandparents at the moment?
3
Gonna be
going
4.
on
0.5.
4.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Let's go and have a cocktail.
Yes.
Sounds good.